Kohlberg claimed and was able to show through research that people progress through a series of stages in their moral thinking, specifically in their foundations for ethical behavior. Let's take a closer look at these stages. In stage 1, Alice and her friends are going to their friend's house to watch a TV series and be able to bond well. Alice immediately told her parents that she was going to her friend's house and they allowed her and told to go home before 5 p.m. As they are watching the TV series, Alice noticed the time, but the part they are watching was on the climax and she wanted to finish it. And she thought she would be punished and would never be allowed to go out again. She immediately told her friends that she was going home, and in the next few days, she continued to watch the TV series alone and finishes it. In this stage, Alice faces the stage of obedience and punishment. In stage 2, it communicates the "what's in it for me" viewpoint, in which appropriate behavior is defined by whatever the person considers to be in their best interests. Range 2 reasoning tends to be a restricted interest in the needs of others, as if it might advance the individual's argument interface. It clearly states that I will do whatever you want as long as you have a reward or favor. For example, you ask your friend to accompany you to the mall to buy some things, and she will ask, what's the return of exchange of going with you to the mall? And that's the step 2 in Kohlberg's theory, which there will be an exchange of favor or reward. In stage 3, a person's morality and moral judgment is based on the established social norm observed and largely being followed by the community. A person behaves based on the socially accepted principle on what is regarded as right and wrong and is more concerned on what the majority thinks above anything else. Let us take a classic example. A student is failing his grade and he is scared that he will disappoint his parents. He learned that other students were cheating on the exams, so he also resorted to cheating. Since everybody is already doing the same thing, on his mind, cheating was an acceptable deed in the classroom to pass the exams and to not disappoint their parents. While in stage 4, there was an incident of robbery in Mr. Villanueva's house. Unfortunately, Mr. Villanueva and his kids were harmed by the robber, and Mrs. Villanueva grabbed the robber's knife and she attacked the robber. When the police came, Mrs. Villanueva convinces the police to bring her family to the hospital because the kids got a serious cut. When they were on a hospital, they found out that the robber is in a surgical operation. Mrs. Villanueva was angry because the robber doesn't deserve to live because of what he did. But the doctors explained that it is their job to save a man's life despite of who and what they are. In this stage, the doctors just did their job and followed the order. In the 5th stage, people evolved from the idea of being good into what would be the right thing to do. Here's a scenario. A man had a wife with a rare type of disease. Luckily, there was a pharmacist who invented a medicine that can cure man's wife. But the price of it was too high that the man cannot afford it. He asked the pharmacist if he can buy it half of its price, but he refused. The man is desperate to get that medicine, so he decided to steal it on the store. By applying the 5th stage of Kohlberg's moral development, the man should steal the medicine for his wife to live longer. The laws do not take the circumstances into account. And also, it is what the man thinks good and just to do. In the last stage of Kohlberg's stages of moral development, there is a police officer and his colleague, which is in a higher position, orders him to do something illegal, such as charging money for motorists every time there is a checkpoint. Cover up the other criminals because they were paid by an acquaintance, but the police officer won't do it because he believed that the principal as a police officer is more important than the money or promotion in exchange for what he will be asked to do. In this stage, principled conscience existed. According to Kohlberg, a person who progresses to a higher stage of moral reasoning cannot skip stages. For example, one cannot jump from being concerned mostly with pure judgment which is stage 3, to being a proponent of social contracts, which is in stage 5. It means that an individual should undergo to each stage of the moral development. That's it. That's the Kohlberg'S stages of moral development. Thank you for watching.